In today's message, God claims that I am the potter and that you are the clay. When I hold you in my hands, you are nothing more than clay. To succumb to the expectations of man or to the aims of men with religious agendas or ideology is not something that I have asked you to do with my words. Your doctrine or the way you practice your religion is not where your power lies. Your power is in the closeness you have with me and the immersion you experience in my spirit. It is not to those who expect you to defer to their expertise or position that you should be modest. Rather, you should be humble to me when you humble yourself. I want you to walk in love and seek peace, but you must always pay attention to my spirit and follow the guidance that I bestow upon you. Even though they are singing to you, you are not going to dance. The fact that they are lamenting is not a sign that you should be mourning. I am providing you with the opportunity to be a transformative influencer who can marry the generations and affect people's lives. For a truly spiritual warrior, this is the duty that comes from the heart. Please know that I will take care of your business in the same way that you take care of mine. As you make my kingdom your primary focus, you will notice that I will continue to expand your resources until all of your requirements are satisfied and every provision is fulfilled. I am a provision, which means that the Father and the vision that I share with you will be supported and made feasible by my hand of provision. As you confidently move forth with authority into the assignment of heaven that has been awarded to you anew and fresh on this day, you will never be in need of direction, guidance, or resources. Today, Jesus Christ asserts that it is not too late to make a change. It has been taught to you by the adversary that it is too late, but it is not too late. Knowing that I am the God of time and eternity is important, despite the fact that the circumstances and the situation indicate that it is too late. Every single one of your days is in my hands. My book has the details of each and every one of your days, and it is not a tragic story or a story of hope that has been recounted once before. Always keep your focus on me. Rather than allowing the circumstances to dictate the bounds of your expectations, you should actively choose not to believe them. As I travel through time and through the events and circumstances that have occurred in your life, I am taking a step back. I am bringing forth beauty from ashes and renewed hope from disillusionment and what appeared to be absolute failure. I am turning back the destruction and disappointment that has occurred. The things that are observed are only passing through and are prone to change. There are things that are everlasting that have the power to control the things that are visible. Hand over the results of your actions to me. No salvation will be brought about by your hand. I require that you have faith in me, that you pay attention to my voice, and that you swiftly obey the tasks that I have set to you. Please entrust me with your Isaacs and your Ishmaels, and have faith that I will oversee and organize your life in such a way that the blessing that will be bestowed upon your heart will be, Lord, you do all things well. From this point forward, you are going to have to ascend to a higher level and start thinking my thoughts with my mind. Otherwise, nothing will make sense when I start to move. The promotion that I bring is promotion into what appears to be chaos to the natural mind, but in fact it is a pattern and plan that is so extensive and so profound that a finite man could never anticipate exactly how much blessing, destiny, and purpose I am constructing in you and through you, says the Father. I am bringing you to periods of refreshment. Proclaim the words of God to you today. For the sake of bringing you on your journey, I have created streams of refreshing water in every dry location within the world. What the Father does not say is despair. Take a generous gulp of my unwavering loyalty. Now is the time to allow the rivers of my grace to wash over you and fill you with the goodness of my presence. You have a fountain within you that will refresh and revive you whenever your soul is dry and your heart is disheartened. I have placed this fountain within you. When you are unable to locate anything that appears to be a source of strength for you, make the decision to find encouragement in me, just as David did in the past. When all other resources have failed to provide you with the power and vitality you need, I am the rock that you can rush to, and out of that rock will emerge a river of pure refreshment. According to the Father, I will not abandon you in your current location. I am going to take you on. I will transport you to the Jordan crossing and get you out of the dry lands that you are now in. Today, you should make your way to the banks of your low place. Be conscious of the fact that I share the lofty and elevated location with people who possess a spirit that is humble and contrite. It is not my intention to diminish or scourge you, rather, I am here to revitalize and refresh you. Some people have asserted that the suffering you are experiencing is by my hand, yet they are aware of the fact that by making such a claim, they are calling my goodness into question. When I came with the intention of bringing you life and life in greater abundance, and I have not changed my mind about that in regard to your circumstance. Let your heart be open. Listen to what I have to say. Adjustments and changes should be made as necessary. According to the Father, you will be able to observe the outcome fairly quickly. In today's message, God declares that neither my kingdom nor my people are tame in themselves. I have not commanded you to be subdued or domesticated by the environment that you are surrounded by. By releasing my people from the confinement that their culture has imposed on them, I am fulfilling their potential. It is time for you to emerge from the confines of the religious ghetto and enter the public square. You will emerge via the manifestation of my spirit and the manifestation of my strength. In the form of signs, miracles, and wonders, you will move with great might. There will be a shift in the appearance of the sun, and the moon will cast a shadow that is unlike any other shadow that has ever been cast since the beginning of the global community. I will bring about a dramatic confrontation among my people, and they will be aware of it. The world will be aware of the fact that they govern at my pleasure, and that my people are the kings and priests of the earth. Your hour has come, and it is now your time to establish ranks rather than to break ranks. I am calling you into apostolic culture to band together not by affinity or doctrinal agreement but rather by the shared passion of a people who have discovered exactly who they are in my kingdom and exactly what the valuation is of the price that was paid on Calvary. I am inviting you to band together. If you listen to the Father, you are not a victim. You will not be exposed to the disguised contempt of people who are in your immediate vicinity and who believe that you worship me because of their mercy or permission. In the same way that Moses did in the past, I am calling my people out into a gathering of eagles who will take the prey and rend the serpent until there is nothing left of the realm of darkness that can stand in opposition to the will of my kingdom where it is established on earth. Your calling and election are certain, so embrace it, declare it, and recognize it as your default state as a redeemed one of the Most High. This is your portion, and your placement says that the Father has chosen you. Today, Jesus tells you that it is time for you to come out of hiding. I am not going to abandon you from where you are. In the event that you find yourself stuck in a circumstance that has no way out, I will not abandon you. In a moment, in a day, you will feel as though you have been pulled out of what was and thrust, blasted into a new region of blessing and promise. I will open a door of escape for you, and it will appear as though you have been stolen away from what was. Refuse to settle into a comfortable position where you are. Take into account the fact that everything is subject to change, sometimes on a more rapid schedule. If you want to realize that my thoughts and plans are different from yours, you should get rid of your map of how you think things are going to proceed and realize that they are better. As the God of better things, I am that God. I am going to surprise you with some things that I have in store for you. You are setting yourself up for difficulties and tests that will not materialize as you anticipate them. Avoid basing your life on the assumption that you will experience difficulties. Instead, construct your life on the basis of an expectation of life and life that is more plentiful, because I have nothing more to offer other than that. Trials and hardships are not something that I do. There have been some individuals who have erroneously portrayed me as a God who is responsible for misery, grief, and anguish. Beloved, this is not who I am, and it is not what I have in store for you. God has revealed to us today. The Father adds, proven that I do not place any premium upon suffering in your life, and as you begin to put your confidence and trust in me, you will begin to see the shift and change occurring out of darkness and bondage into great release and emancipation. Today, God has revealed that I shall bring about an end. All those who persevere until the very end will be spared. Dearly beloved, I urge you to make it your determination to not withdraw from the process that I am creating in your life. I am working something in your life that will bring you great benefit if you remain committed to what I have asked you to do. While others may bail out and run away, what you should know is that I am working something in your life. Even though the pressure is high and getting worse, it is important to keep in mind that the only way to enter the kingdom is through a tremendous deal of suffering. It is via a great deal of pressure that you attain entry into the kingdom. Therefore, you should be aware of the fact that increasing pressure is not an indication that you are going in the wrong route. You will eventually be able to break through the strain and enter the kingdom if you do so. The kingdom is subjected to violence, and those who are violent take it upon themselves. Become resolute in your desire to refuse to accept no as an answer. I am a God who is a yes. Those who have surrendered themselves to me are the recipients of all of my promises, and I affirm them all. I will save you from having to deal with the muck of your situation. Your decision to obey me will result in blessings rather than reductions, as the repercussions of your choice follow. Those individuals who have made threats and spoken out against you will be excluded from the group. Although they are your adversaries, may God bless them. I pray that you will bless them, forgive them, and take them to me. Due to the fact that I am a loving Father and you are my adored kid, I am able and devoted to addressing every issue that you have in your heart of hearts. God says, "Render to Caesar that which is Caesar's, and render to my kingdom the balance of your life in trust and expectation that I will do everything perfectly in my timing." This is what God says today. You, darling, are not subject to the economic system of man. Regardless of the value that men place on your life, you are not constrained or restricted in any way. You are my beloved, and my kingdom is the one that rules over all. This means that whatever man takes from you, I will repay 7 times over. Have no fear. When the kingdoms of this world try to force their agenda on your life, you should not show any concern. This world's governments, rulers, and potentates hold the staff by my indulgence, and there is nothing that man can take from you or do to you that I am ultimately not in charge of. I am accountable for all that happens to you. According to the Father, you should not resist evil, just as I have stated in my word. My rule and my lordship over your life is the superintending force that provides for you, promotes you, and elevates you into an experience of being seated with me far above any power, might, or any name that can be named in this earth. I am the one who is in charge of your life. The safekeeping of your treasury does not take place in a bank vault or a safeguarded account that is kept by institutions that are controlled by men. Your treasures are safe in my hands, and you do not need to wait to reap the benefits of that resource in your life. I have made it possible for you to do so quickly. Let your mind begin to cognize with a profound and all-encompassing knowledge of my sovereignty, even over the commonplace affairs of finance and transactions of natural resources. Let your heart soar in trust, and let your mind begin to cognize with this comprehension. The Father says, I am your banker, and I am making the deposit of heaven in your life so that you can ride prosperously over the high regions of the earth even now. I am your banker. You will not be let down if you ask, seek, and knock today, as the Father has instructed you to do. This straightforward comprehension encompasses the entirety of the relationship that takes place between the land of heaven and the earth. If you ever ask me, I will respond to you. Whenever you look for me, I shall be discovered. In response to your knock, I will open my arms to you and bring you into a more profound and comprehensive connection with me. I am precisely this, and this is what I do. You are not out of the question. In your heart, utter the words, I am not alone. Make the statement, I have asked, and he will answer. In reference to your situation. Through this action, you are predicting the outcome of your own life. Whenever you place your trust in the dependability of my promise and the confirmation of my character, you will never find yourself in a situation where you are disappointed. Due to the fact that I am the great superintendent of everything, I do not exhibit any signs of neglect. In no way am I a father who is absent. I am not a father who is uncaring. You are not a helpless child who is left to fend for yourself in the desert. I am with you. You have my support. Put all of your worries on me, because I am taking care of every requirement that you have in your life. Just for a second, close your eyes and take in the realization that you are not constrained in any way. You are the place where I reside, and my entire nature is limitlessness. Not only is it impossible for my spirit to reside in you, but it is also impossible for it to not impart and touch you in such a way that you take on my defining qualities and nature. Because you will see me in the same way that I am, you will be able to imitate me. I have no boundaries. No boundaries can be placed on me. Because I invented, you could say that I created possibility. There is nothing that is impossible with me. That is my nature, and because I am a part of you, that is also your characteristic. The development of the moral equivalent of my selfless personality is only one aspect of what it means to be like me. Doing what I would do if I were in your position is what I mean when I say, being like me. When I saw the darkness, I decided to speak. When I witnessed the disaster that I had caused. When I saw the reverse of what I had intended, I stated the thing that I wished, and everyone and everything in the universe bowed down to my will. On account of the fact that you are a part of me and I am a part of you, this is also your portion. Due to the fact that you have submitted to my lordship and surrendered yourself to my plans, you have been transformed in an irrevocable manner, and your circumstances will undoubtedly modify to accommodate this new and glorious reality. Today, the Father wishes to extend an invitation to you to take a walk with me that is both tangible and experiential. In every time that I communicate with you, my dear, I am extending an invitation to feel me in a way that is both tangible and visceral. Not weight or grief, but rather joy and enjoyment are the topics that are being discussed here. Every time I speak to you, I am able to bring you delight, joy that will last forever, and bliss that will never end. I take pleasure in you. I mean, why would I not want you to take pleasure in me? There's no need to put on a religious front, speak in a solemn tone, or use lofty terminology. Simply take pleasure in being with me. My hand is a source of excitement for you. Expect nothing but pure joy, awe, and contentment to result from each and every interaction you have with me, as well as from each and every word I will ever speak to you. To thrill and be delighted with who I am and what I am doing in your life, you should exercise yourself every day and every moment of every day. Daily and every moment of every day. I invite you to take joy in simply experiencing what I am doing around you today and to take pleasure in delighting yourself in me throughout the day. I rejoice in you today, says the Father. How about we reciprocate that joy by taking pleasure in even the most insignificant of life's experiences? This is a whole new area that I am going to make available to you. There will be no funeral dirges or a falsely reverent demeanor. Simply the unadulterated, unrestrained joy and delight that comes from being one of my own creations. Saved from harm. Assuming that one is filled. Why is it so incredible? I am rightfully yours, and you are rightfully mine. This is something that the adversary despises. It is something that he despises when you take pleasure in me, since the next thing that occurs when you do so is that I appear. This is because everything comes to the one who takes pleasure in me when they do so. Today, the Father wishes to extend an invitation to you to take a walk with me that is both tangible and experiential. In every time that I communicate with you, my dear, I am extending an invitation to feel me in a way that is both tangible and visceral. Not weight or grief, but rather joy and enjoyment are the topics that are being discussed here. Every time I speak to you, I am able to bring you delight, joy that will last forever, and bliss that will never end. I take pleasure in you. I mean, why would I not want you to take pleasure in me? There's no need to put on a religious front, speak in a solemn tone, or use lofty terminology. Simply take pleasure in being with me. My hand is a source of excitement for you. Expect nothing but pure joy, awe, and contentment to result from each and every interaction you have with me, as well as from each and every word I will ever speak to you. To thrill and be delighted with who I am and what I am doing in your life, you should exercise yourself every day and every moment of every day. Daily and every moment of every day. I invite you to take joy in simply experiencing what I am doing around you today and to take pleasure in delighting yourself in me throughout the day. I rejoice in you today, says the Father. How about we reciprocate that joy by taking pleasure in even the most insignificant of life's experiences? This is a whole new area that I am going to make available to you. There will be no funeral dirges or a falsely reverent demeanor. Simply the unadulterated, unrestrained joy and delight that comes from being one of my own creations. Saved from harm. Assuming that one is filled. Why is it so incredible? I am rightfully yours, and you are rightfully mine. This is something that the adversary despises. It is something that he despises when you take pleasure in me, since the next thing that occurs when you do so is that I appear. This is because everything comes to the one who takes pleasure in me when they do so. God has revealed to us today that it is time to walk on water. I am going to take you someplace, says the Father. Things are going to change, and a move is going to take place. It is important to avoid looking at the winds and waves of hardship. Refuse to be swayed by people who are simply interested in staying in order to protect themselves from the danger. Take some chances in life. Don't be afraid to take chances, for as soon as you step out of your comfort zone, you will discover that I am walking on the waves that others believe will only bring you down and ruin you. The Father instructs you to be found faithful. Have faith in me. Together, we will walk on the water. Move forward with faith. I want you to be aware that I am the fourth man in the camp. It won't be just you moving forward by yourself. In the event that you take the plunge with the expectation and knowledge that I am not about failure, loss, or disappointment, I will make your step appear larger. Due to the fact that I am in you and I will not allow myself to be disappointed, I will not allow you to be dissatisfied. The Father explains that you were not born into the kingdom with the intention of playing it safe. I have brought you into this world with a certain mission in mind, and by doing so, I have brought you up. Now is the moment to act. It is important to remain devoted and persistent while doing what you can with what you have. Because you are such a wonderful steward of the things that I have already given you, I will continue to send you more and more everything. No shortage is going to occur. Neither the provision nor the direction nor the knowledge or the favor will be restricted in any way. I will be showing you favor with those individuals with whom you need to have favor. Those that ignore you and reject you will be relegated to the background of your existence. Allow me to handle them. Make sure to keep going. You will not find success in the approval of man, but rather in the enormous blessing that I am pouring down upon you as you pledge your path to me.